Sync as we do every week. Just bear with me a moment. It's taking its time, unfortunately. Okay. Adverts. There we go. Now you should fire through to the live chat. Oh, another advert. What a surprise. There we go. Now I know the technology is synced up. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Hope you're safe and well. This is Brooks's Base Corner, live chat number 35, 8 p.m. in the UK. If you're joining in, welcome. You're very welcome here. I hope everyone is safe and well out there in YouTube land. So if you've not frequented a live chat before, or you just stumbled across my my channel through YouTube suggestions or recommendations, you're very welcome. I'm Mike Brooks. This is Brooks's Bass Corner. It's a YouTube channel about bass guitars, probably the ones hanging on the wall and in the rack behind me kind of give it away. So if you want to talk bass guitars, bass amplifiers, bass speakers, bass effects pedals, bass accessories, you're in the right place. That's what we talk about. So we do these live chats kind of semi-regularly on a Tuesday evening. We're here in London in the UK. It's 8 o'clock here. I guess over on the east coast of America, New York side, it's probably 3 o'clock, I think, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. West Coast is going to be midday, I guess. So if you're tuning in from America, hi guys, hope you're well. Hope you're all doing okay over there. We're doing okay over here, you know, trying to get through the winter and get into the spring months. But we're getting there slowly but surely. We're in the middle of a bit of a cold snap here in the UK. It's a little chilly, to put it politely. Visog, good evening. Welcome. Good to see you. Hope you're well. So if you've not viewed any content here on my channel, or you've never attended a live chat, the way this works is we're talking bass guitars, bass players, bass gear, doing gigs, bands with great bass players, albums with great bass lines on. We have a live chat window. If you're on the mobile app, it's just below this window. So you'll see a big text window with messages sort of scrolling up as we progress. If you're on the desktop version, it's that way. I've got the live chat window here on my monitor. I can see messages as they pop up. Richard Evans, good evening. Missed the last few chats due to live footy with the tune. Quite. One of the problems I always have trying to time a live chat. What other events are going on in the world? Is there football going on in the UK or Europe or in South America or in Asia? And this is the perennial problem I have, is trying to find a time that kind of works for everyone. You can't please everyone all the time. And if you fail to attend any of the live chats, but you want to catch up, all of the videos are uploaded. So if you go to the playlist section here on the channel, and everything on this channel is in a playlist somewhere or other. So if you're looking for live chats, go to the playlist section, scroll down the list of playlists, and you'll see one for live chats. This is number 35, so the previous 34 are all in that playlist. We've had some crackers lately, so there's been sort of very forthcoming conversation. So the way this works is a two-way street. So if you don't comment or have any questions or get involved in the conversation, you're gonna have to listen to me talking for an hour or more. However, if you get involved in the conversation, maybe some of you are let's just pop them in, shall we? If you've got some equipment that's not working properly, or you've got some gigs coming up and you'd like some advice, maybe you are looking at buying some new gear, new basses, new amp, new pedals, chuck it in the live chat if we can help or offer advice. I certainly will if I know the answer. As soon as I see the question or the comment pop up in the live chat, If I don't know, then chances are some of the other bass players that frequent this live chat might do. So we've had, over the past couple of weeks, players from all over the world asking bass related questions. So if any of us can help, we will do. Stacey Ann, good to see you. Hope you're well. Afternoon for you, evening for us, of course, here in the UK. I just realised I haven't turned on the lighting. Bear with me one moment, please, boys and girls. It's been very frenetic here at Brooks Towers for a couple of days. I'll explain all in a second. Just bear with me. I thought that lighting was looking a little oldie-woldy. That's better. Now we've got some lighting. How about that? Trying to do a million one things before the live chat started. So let me explain what I've just said. So we were going along great guns at the weekend. I was working on the merchandise and sorting all that out. I was hoping to launch that today. I thought I'd be able to come on the live chat and say, now we've got a range of t-shirts and caps and hoodies and a million and one other bits of merchandise. And that was my job for yesterday, Monday. I thought, right, got all the designs done with my graphic designer, Stacey. Thank you very much for your help. Ready to sort of get all of this on the items, get it how we want it to look and get it out to you guys. So if you wanted to buy some merchandise with Brooks's Bass Corner on it, you could have that option. I woke up yesterday morning and basically my dog was hyperventilating, rapid coughing, shaking like a leaf, didn't look very good in the eyes. And our dog before our current dog passed away a couple of years ago, I've seen that look in a dog's eyes when it might be time to go. So our current dog did not look good yesterday. We thought we'd get into the vet, got an appointment, and it became very apparent very quickly that that appointment wasn't going to work. We had to go to an emergency vet like immediately. As it's now turned out, that probably wasn't the case, but at the time, and you've been through that situation before, you don't wait, because anything can happen in the intervening time. So we had to go to an emergency vet, got our dog checked in, booked up for scans and camera work and biopsies and tests and this and that and the other. Completely blew my whole plan for the channel out of the window for yesterday and today. Thankfully, our dog is now back home. He's sleeping, snoring soundly. He's had his medication. We now got to wait 10 days for his test results to come through, but it completely blew the merchandise plan out of the window. I thought I was going to get a video or two up. One yesterday, one today. Hasn't happened. We've been at the vets today, trying to sort everything out. And so I can only apologize. So as from tomorrow, there will be a long form video going up tomorrow afternoon. Hopefully, once that's up and running, I can then concentrate a few hours on getting this merchandise finalized and put up for you. So if you've been keeping tabs on the channel, hopefully by tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, there will be new content, there will be new merchandise. And then I can say, at last, we've got that running. So now the dog's back home, safe and well-ish, we can carry on. So let me tell you what's been going on with the channel. So loads of new content edited, ready to go. I've just now got to plan the schedule for putting that content up. So as I've mentioned in weeks gone by, the actual promotion using social media, using YouTube, takes time. If I don't have 2 or 3 hours around releasing a video, there's no point putting the video up, because it will just drop straight out of the cannon and hit the floor. That's not what we need. We need it to be going up, taking off like the last long form video. So I've now got a few days before my next gig, which is on Saturday with Uncle Funk's Disco Inferno. Our first gig back since 2 22nd of December. So over the next couple of days, there'll be a load of new content going up on the channel. The merchandise will be going up and going live. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you find some items on there that you might be interested in. If you've not attended a live chat before, or you have, I need to explain that you can financially help the channel in two ways. Directly. So in the live chat window, you'll see there's an emoji icon. You can hit as many emojis as you wish in the conversation. That's all cool. Fill your boots. There's a dollar symbol there. That's called Super Chat. So if you enjoy the content here on the channel, or you're enjoying this live chat, or you're enjoying what we end up talking about as the next couple of hours sort of pass by, if you want to financially donate to the channel, you can. Hit that dollar symbol. That's called Super Chat. The other option, and this is the case for every video here on Brooks's Space Corner, because we're a monetized channel. Underneath the video, you'll see a series of icons. So there's a thumbs up, a thumbs down, there's a share arrow, the save button. So if you want to save videos for watching at a later time. There's also a love heart with a dollar symbol in it. That's called Super Thanks. So it's basically the same as Super Chat, but it's there on every single video. So if you enjoy a particular video, or you're enjoying all the content on my channel, if you're watching someone else's YouTube channel and they're monetized, it's the same deal. If you'd like to say thank you to the creator for the video or videos that you've been watching, you can financially donate to the channel. Then there are other means you can support the channel. So as I say, from tomorrow, there'll be merchandise here on the Brooks's Space Corner. So underneath every video, you will see a shop display tab of items that are branded with Brooks's Space Corner. If you want to purchase any of those, feel free. I receive a cut of the sale price. I don't get all of it, I get some of it. There are also in the description box for every video, there will be for this video from tomorrow. So if you're watching this video after the live chat's taken place, from Wednesday, once this video is streamed and uploaded to YouTube, in the description box you will find affiliate links for Amazon in the US, in the UK, and various Amazons around Europe, and also Thomann, which are based in Germany. So if you were looking to buy a new bass, a new amp, pedals, accessories, gig bags, strings, CDs relating to the Essential Bass album series here on the channel, if you click any of those affiliate links, go through and find any items that you want, put them in your basket, pay for them, go through with the transaction, they get delivered to you. I receive an affiliate commission on the basis of that sale. It's not a huge amount, but it all adds up. The other option also to help the channel, if you wish to give any videos likes, leave comments, share the videos on your own social media, that all helps with the algorithm here on YouTube. So it likes to see sort of positive user interaction. So if you're enjoying the videos, leaving a comment is great. Giving any video here on the channel a thumbs up is very much appreciated. So I've done the big sell. Unfortunately, I have to do this on these live chats, but there we go. We've done it. So I've got messages to catch up on in the live chat window. Richard Evans, I have you ever? I think you got an I too many there. Have you ever used a Phil Jones earbox? What are your thoughts? No, I haven't. And the last Phil Jones equipment I used was for a review in 2020 during lockdown for Bass Guitar Magazine and Bass Player. I had one of their, God, I can't even remember the model. I can tell you, 2 seconds. Let me just open up my file explorer. I'll tell you. The last Phil Jones equipment I looked at was, so I'm looking at my list of content for the magazine, wasn't that? It was that. A Phil Jones Bass Cub 2 BG110 combo. Very small, dinky, almost like smaller than a briefcase combo. Great piece of kit. Over the years, I've reviewed a couple of Phil Jones amplifiers and combos, but the one you're talking about, no, Richard, I haven't tried one of those at all. No, I haven't tried one. I don't know what that is. I would need to look at it and come back to you at a later date. Richard, get well soon, Max. Thank you very much. Monty sends his best furry wishes and lots of love back to Monty, of course. Stacey, exactly. This is what we parents do. Don't we just? Get back fighting fit, Max baby. Thank you very much, Stacey. Very much appreciated. Yeah, so here we are, Brooks's Bass Corner, live chat number 35. We're talking bass guitars, we're talking bass amplifiers, bass speakers, bass pedals, bass accessories, talking great bass players, bands that had great bass players, albums with great bass lines on. If there's any content already here on the channel that you'd like to talk about or discuss, or maybe you've watched one of the videos and you'd like to ask me some questions, feel free. That's what the live chat window's for. So if you're on the mobile app, it's below this window. If you're on the desktop version, it's that way. Anything that I mention or refer to that's already here on the channel, links to it will be in the description box as from tomorrow. So if there's any videos, demos, if I refer to the bass collection video that went up 3 weeks ago, all of those videos and content from the channel will be in the description box from tomorrow. So if I'm talking about something, obviously during the live chat, you'll have to go to the channel and the videos to reference what I'm talking about. But if you're watching this video after the event, all the links will be in the description box. So there we go. So who have we got? We've got Visog, we've got Richard Evans, we've got Stacey Ann. Well, my camera's telling me I've got 7 people watching and 3 of you are contributing. So thank you very much. To the other 4 of you, I hope you're safe and well, whoever you are that's watching. I do appreciate you being there. So thank you very much. So bass content wise, what can I tell you? So as I mentioned earlier, first gig back out with Uncle Funk's Disco Inferno this weekend. We are in... I think we're very close to Cirencester, which is out sort of Somerset, Wiltshire way, sort of heading towards Swindon. I'm trying to remember, is it a wedding or is it a corporate event? I think it's a corporate event. Full band, 9-piece band, sound and lights, full production. We're back on the road. And we've got quite a few Uncle Funk gigs over the next couple of weeks. And then it goes a little bit quiet during April and May. Don't know why. And then once we get into June, it goes a little ballistic. So we are at loads and loads of festivals through the summer, loads of private events, loads of corporate events, got quite a few weddings. So it's going to be very busy. Lots going on. Sean P. Bass, I saw you fly in there. Hi, sorry to hear about your family member. I hope he's okay. The family member, if you're referring to last week's live chat, that was my father-in-law. Thankfully, a lot better. Thank you very much. He's okay. He's on the mend. Family member that I've just mentioned is actually my dog. Very important family member, of course, goes without saying. But he's home. He's okay. He's stable. His coughing is still going on, but the shaking isn't there, thankfully. He is going to basically sound like a maraca by tomorrow night because he's got to have 3 tablets twice a day. And I think there's a liquid as well that he's got to have. And we're waiting now on test results that aren't going to come through till the end of next week. So until we get to the end of next week, we don't know quite what's going on with him. But we've got medications to try and deal with the coughing and the situation we found ourselves in yesterday. But he's here, he's asleep, he's stable. And I guess they wouldn't have allowed us to bring him home if he wasn't. But thank you for your concern, Sean. I do appreciate it. Hope everything's going well with you. You were looking at another bass. I'm trying to remember. I get so many messages, and I know you messaged me, and I responded. Trying to remember what we were talking Betsy basses, weren't we? That's right, because you'd seen the second-hand one go up for sale. Did you buy it? And actually, I think the guy selling it, because you mentioned the mods that had happened, regarding the nut, and I think something else. Did he change the bridge? He did something else. I think that guy popped up on Bass Chat and he was talking about his particular bass, but he wasn't mentioning that it was for sale. But he did have a little chat in the Betsy thread, and I put two and two together. It might not be the same guy, but it seems too possible that the mods he was talking about were exactly the same mods that were on the bass that you were considering. So yeah. But I'm intrigued to know whether you've bought that bass or whether you're still considering a Betsy. For anyone that doesn't know, a Betsy bass is basically it's a bass made by the Bass Center. Lewis Wingrove, hi from California. Good to see you, sir. The Bass Center here in the UK built Guy Pratt a replacement bass so that he didn't have to take his 1964 jazz bass in burgundy mist fitted with EMGs out on the road any longer if he didn't want to. That bass came out so well, it's now become part of the Bass Center's Bass Masters series. So essentially it's a jazz bass with active EMG pickups in burgundy mist, also now available in black, white scratch plate, ebony fingerboard, matching headstock. The hardware is non-named hardware, it's whatever's fitted at the factory, but it does a grand job, and they're great basses, not very expensive at all, fantastic value for money. You'll see the headstock, actually it's just behind me there, that sort of pinky matching headstock there, that one. That's the Betsy bass. I can pull it out the rack if any of you want to see it. Easy enough. Sean, no, didn't buy it, but considering. Excellent, good stuff. Few of them have popped up secondhand. I don't know why people are selling them. You want to be keeping a bass like that, but just keep your eyes open, Sean. There'll be one, no doubt, in your mitts soon enough, I would suggest. And actually I'm going to be going down to the Bass Center very shortly, collecting some basses for review, which will be great. Going to have lunch with Mr. Barry Morehouse, which is the most important thing, clearly. But also I'm going to buy a new bass. So anyone that knows me and knows the extent of my collection, there's a new bass incoming. So past couple of weeks, a friend of mine, Mario, you'll remember his name, the Chinese Ways, big level 42 fan here on the live chat. He was looking to either buy a fretless or buy a fretted bass and have it defretted. He wanted to get into fretless playing. I have a fretless here, my Fender Kubicki Factor is fretless. However, I'm very aware of the value of that bass, and I while we were in lockdown, I bought 2 books to start doing fretless playing. I've never been asked to do any fretless, but it's one of those things, if you don't do it and practice it, if you don't do it and practice it, when you then get asked to do it, you're not even in the game. And I suddenly thought, maybe no one will ever ask me, but it's something I'd really like to do. Now, I don't want to butcher my Kubicki Factor being a complete fretless novice. I don't know how hard I need to press those strings down. I don't want to chew that fingerboard up. Now, okay, it's ebony. Yes, it can be skimmed. But I thought, now that those basses are rapidly appreciating, it might be a very prudent idea to either buy a cheaper bass or a second-hand bass or something else to get started on until you're au fait with playing a fretless. So rather than me whizzing around a fingerboard with round wounds on and wood flying everywhere, metaphorically speaking, I'd rather do that on a different bass than my Kubicki. So I'm going down to the Bass Center. I'm going to get one of their jive basses, which is going to be defretted for me. And then we'll see how we go. So there's going to be a series on fretless bass playing on this very channel. So you'll be able to follow my journey as a complete fretless novice. and we'll learn all the techniques together, and I will take you through some of the exercises that are in the books that I'm going to be learning from. We'll see how we go. It might be a great success, or it might be an absolute raging failure, but I thought it might be something you guys might be interested in. I'm not quite sure where I'm going to find the time to put in this amount of fretless practice, because trying to find any time in the day to do any practice other than for the gigs I'm doing sometimes is a little challenging, which also impacts the amount of content that goes up on this channel. So we will see, but it could be an absolute blast. So when that bass is ready and I go and pick it up, you'll see it first here on this channel. And we'll see how far we go down the fretless road. It might drive me insane. It might be a whole load of fun. So let's see. I see a load of messages. Right. Vissol, didn't know Barry still runs the Bass Centre. Oh, yes. Yes, he does. They're based down in Bagshot in Surrey. Now, it's not the Bass Centre as it was years ago in Wapping and Liverpool Street, with a huge shop full of gear. It's not like that. It's a slightly, how can I say? I think you can go in as a customer, but you kind of have to let them know you're coming. But basically a lot of their stuff is mail order, and obviously they sell the basses through stores like Bass Direct, the Gallery, all those kinds of places. So yeah, it is still running. Lewis Wingrove, I'm having a hell of a time getting a bone nut for my buddy's FGN guitar. FGN. I don't know what FGN means. The company said, sorry, we can't replace the nut. Consider a new FGN. Don't know what that means. Look at Tusk nuts. That's not a euphemism, by the way. TUSQ. Dave's World of Fun Stuff swears by them. I see them online all the time. So if you're looking for a new nut, I'm guessing a bone nut. Yeah, bone nut. Go for Tusk. They're really good and relatively easy to cut. I think you can buy them pre-cut or as blanks. And then you cut the fret slot, the string slots yourself. Why so 5 years later I can't have any more parts? Now you will be able to. You just got to... I'm kind of a bit lost what you are looking for, Lewis. So if you can rephrase those two comments and I understand what you're after, if I can help, I will. Okay. Why so 5 years? So 5 years later, I can't have any more parts. FGN is a Japanese work of art. Okay. 99% perfect with a cheap nut. Okay. Look at Tusk. And you should be able to get those over in the States relatively easily. Then I think do Graphtech, do nuts. If you're going for bone, they should be relatively easy to get. Otherwise, look at a graphite nut maybe. And you can have a graphite nut that's white. Now it doesn't have to be black. David Gill, looking forward to your fretless journey. Want to try it myself. Let's do it together. Absolutely. It's one of those things. Unless you have a reason to do it, you're not going to sit there and do it. I've never, in 20 years, or 21 years, since I had that Kabiki defretted, I've never once been asked to provide fretless bass. But it's one, as I said before, it's one of those things. Suddenly someone said, I need fretless bass on a track or a session or a gig. You can't just pick up a fretless bass and suddenly play it as though you're completely au fait with it. Just don't happen. You need to have put the practice time in. Lewis, damn, Graphtech is returning emails, calls, trying very hard. Not sorry. Okay. I don't know what's going on with Graphtech then. But like I say, try Tusk. See how you get on with that. TUSQ. So they're not made out of ivory or anything like that. I think it was just the brand name, TUSQ. Yeah. So there we go. So I think that's up to date with the messages. Good to see you all. Hope you're all safe and well out there. Any new bass purchases, anyone? Anyone been buying some new gear? I'm going to be purchasing some new pedals for pedal reviews here on the channel very shortly. I've actually got a backlog of stuff that should have been uploaded long ago. I apologize. The videos are there ready to go. It's just having that 2 or 3 hours of promotion time available, so it makes it worthwhile to upload them. So a lot of those videos, or the pedals, sorry, were on the list like 2 years ago to get done. Now they are done, but there are some other pedals that I've bought. I'm trying to see, where's my pedal boxes over there. So new additions that will have review and demo videos very shortly are the BBE Sonic Stomp, which is a pedal version of their old rack mount unit from the 80s and 90s. There's a Boss GEB7 7-band equalizer. There's also an EHX Battalion preamp pedal. And then there's also a looper, Boss looper, that I bought secondhand, which I want to try out because I'm going to obviously use it on some of the demo and review videos in terms of providing the rhythm, the percussion side of things. I've been using for a long time the Moore looper that I've got here. Very good pedal, but it's a bit limited in the rhythms on offer. So I wanted to give one of the Boss units a try, see how we get on. Lewis, yes, exactly, 100%. I love Graphtech, but I must have caught them at a bad time. No reply so far. Okay, I'm about to mail them this bone nut. I hear you. I hear you. It shouldn't be that hard to get hold of replacement nuts. I don't know. Do you have like, not so much a luthier store, but it's like there's a company that Dave's World of Fun Stuff. Is there a company or a guitar store in Canada where he is, I think, in Toronto, called Solo? And they have all these spare parts for, people that are building guitars and what have you. I don't know if that's an American chain or not, but getting spares shouldn't be that difficult. Maybe looking in the wrong places. I don't know. Maybe any of the American fraternity that are here on this live chat might know either an online retailer or a bricks and mortar retailer that carries spares of guitar parts. Obviously, we're here in the UK, so I don't know who those companies are out there. And then you've got StewMac and what have you, but I'm sure there are other options there. Okay, we're going 33 minutes. Welcome. This is Brooks's Bass Corner on a Tuesday evening, 8:30 here in the UK. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you're safe and well. Could be the evening, could be the morning, could be the afternoon. Who knows? Might be the middle of the night. But anyway, it's 8:30 here in the UK. Hope you're safe and well. This is Brooks's Bass Corner. We're talking bass guitars, bass effects, bass amplifiers, bass accessories, great bass players, bands that had great bass players. These teeth, tell you. Great bass players. Spit it out. Albums with great bass lines on. You want to talk about any of that? Feel free. Put it in the live chat window. If you're on the mobile app, it's below this window. If you're on the desktop version, it's that way. If you're watching this after the event, so the live chat's all finished, you can still interact. You can still get involved in what we're talking about. Just leave a comment and I will respond to it as soon as I get notification from YouTube that you've left a comment. As soon as I see it, I'll respond to it. So if you've got any gear that's not working, maybe you're looking to buy some new gear, new bass, new amplifier, new effects pedals. Maybe you're putting your first pedal board together and you just don't know what order you should put those pedals in. Ask us. We might know. I'm not just talking about me. I'm talking about the other fabulous bass players that frequent this live chat. We've had some great live chats over the past couple of weeks, past couple of months, actually. We've had some really good nights. So last week was great. I didn't really want to go to bed, but we've been going nearly 3.25 hours, and I thought we needed to pack it in. Lewis, ready for a laugh. The US office for FGN is 10 miles from the owner of the guitar, and they told him the same. He didn't believe me. No, I get it. David Gill picked up a Zoom B14, first step in the world of pedals. Well, enjoy. I can remember that step for me was a Boss BE5B in November 1989. And I'd put off buying individual pedals. My cousin decided to take up bass a couple of months after I did. He started buying loads of pedals, and I thought, no, I'm going to hold on. I want one of these multi-effects units. I didn't know at the time that the multi-effects units would be a compromise, that they wouldn't be as good as the individual pedals, but hey, that's what you learn over time. The Boss BE5B, I've still got, it's in one of the black boxes there on my shelf. I'm going to be doing a review and demo video of one over the next couple of weeks, couple of months. You'll see it. It's old. I mean, it is 1989 vintage and 1989 technology. But it still works, still does what it did, and it's got some good sounds on it. The delays are great, the chorus and flanger effects are great, the EQ does what it does. The distortion section ain't all that, to be honest. They didn't even include an octave effect, which I was most upset about. And then there's a limiter, a 2-control limiter, which isn't really the same as a compressor, but again, it does what it does. But I will bring it out of retirement, let you guys see it. So yeah, a proper Boss antique, I would guess. How old's that now? That will be 34 years in the autumn. Old school. It's all plastic. There's no metal. The housing is plastic. The pedals are plastic. The controls are plastic. But it works. It still does what it needs to do. I haven't used it in years. I don't think I've used it since the 90s, maybe. And at that time, a lot of the stuff I was doing just didn't use pedals. I kind of started building the pedal collection in the early 2000s. So, Lewis, nice. My first pedal was a Bass Big Muff Deluxe. Okay. Picky in the placement of the signal chain. Yes, I agree. Can't live without it. They are what they are, you know. The big muffs are, I don't want this to go down the wrong road, if you know what I mean. So the big muff pedal is great. It's an industry standard for bass distortion. The deluxe version has even more features on it. I was contemplating buying one not that long ago, but I've had so many other things that I've needed to buy. There's such a backlog of pedals here that I need to cover. It will appear at some point. I promise. Well, there's a topic of discussion. First bass pedals. So what did everyone buy? Like I say, my first pedal was the BE5B. My next pedal, I can see the box. Hold on. I know the pedal isn't in here, but I can see the box. And this has historical reference. So my second pedal, the first time I bought an individual pedal rather than multi-effects was that, a Boss PH2. It was bought from Hans Music in Kingston. Still got the price tag on. So 1990, this was 52 quid, right? The historical reference of this was that I bought this the day Iraq invaded Kuwait, which was the start of the Iraq war. 1st of August, I think. 1st of August, 2nd of August, 1990. And I bought that. So the pedal, I think, is in one of my pedal cases, or it's in that tub there. It's full of pedals. But anyway, yeah, so I've still got the original packaging and all the manual and everything else. But I love that green colour. Really stands out. The Boss PH2 Super Phaser. Sounds great. There will be a video very shortly. So yeah, actually, if while we're talking pedals, I digress, allow me to show you something. Yeah, so we all know about the Deep Impact pedal, the Akai Deep Impact, which is a collector's item and worth a fortune. This isn't that, but it's another Akai pedal, the Uni bass. I think these have become a little collectible as well. So what this does is it provides a distorted guitar transposer, basically. So when you're playing, it will chuck in a guitar track. So let me see. So you can add a lower fourth, solo, or add an upper fifth. So if you're playing something like Sweet Home Alabama and your guitarist takes a solo, you've only got one guitar player in the band, I can be playing the bass line and there'll be another guitar playing a fifth above or however you want it. I haven't used this in quite a while. I remember it being a bit pernickety on gigs, but not as in it didn't work. It was just sometimes one of the settings and you wouldn't really hear the distortion coming over. But very handy if you're playing a three-piece band, you've only got one guitar player. This fills the frequency range. So it sounds like you've got bass, drums, guitar, and then another guitar doing the solo on top. Really handy pedal. You just don't see them very often. And I think they've become a bit collectible, much like all the other Akai pedals. But and actually, you've got the pedal here. I think, yeah, in the box. It's a big old beast, he says. Yeah. There we go. An original UB1. Very handy. I should do a demo of this. I know every pedal, there's already like 100 demos on the on YouTube, but maybe I could do my own one in my own unique style, whatever that might be. But really good. Cracking bass. Cracking pedal, sorry. Yeah. I did take it out on quite a few gigs, and some it sounded really good, but a lot of those gigs I didn't have monitoring, so I was only hearing what's coming through my bass rig. I wasn't hearing what was coming out front for the audience to hear. So maybe it's time to reinvestigate that. Bring it back into proceedings. While I've got the box of pedals there. So I mentioned this a moment ago. So this is the EHX Battalion. So basically it's a preamp pedal. So you don't need an amplifier. I could replace my Aguilar tone hammer on my pedal board with this. But it's got a load of other features in it. So let me get it out. I'll show you. So anyone familiar with preamp pedals, you realise there's going to be like 101 options and connections and what have you. So we'll go across the front panel first. So we've got, there's a gate option. There's volume. Actually, I can just show you, can't I? Then we've got bass, low mid, high mid, treble. Then we have another section here which is connected to the distortion facility. So I'm guessing that level, blend, drive and tone. You've then got three options you can select with that. So you've got pre-EQ, you can have it as post-EQ, and you can have dry EQ. There's then a compressor on the end here, switch in and out. There's a 10 dB pad. So if your bass is a little lively, you can click that in and it'll drop the signal level down a little. Separate pedal selector for distortion, another one for bypass. Then we've got a dry output and an input, which are those on the side. Powered by an adapter. I don't think it does batteries. No. And then on the side, we've got a normal output, a DI XLR output, and then on the side here there's a volume control, which I guess is the volume for the DI and the output, a bypass switch and a ground lift. So that is the battalion. So I've had that here for a while, bought secondhand, but we'll do a review and a demo of it very shortly. And I want to hear how it sounds, because if it's good, I might stick it on the pedal board, try it out on a bunch of gigs over the summer on the festivals. We will see. And actually might do a comparison video looking at bass preamp pedals as well. So here at the moment I've got this, got the Aguilar Tone Hammer, the EBS Microbass 2, and there's also the Sonsamp bass driver, the original one. I probably need to get the updated version of that, and possibly also an updated Microbass. We will see. I have all these jobs to do and limited time. We'll see how we get on. But there's all of that potentially as content, so it's all good. Lewis, I recommend a dark glass instead of an alpha. Oh no, sorry, I'll reread that. I'll put the eyes back in. I recommend a dark glass instead, or an alpha Omnicron pedal to help the big muff. Sounds warmer, but still a problem. Charming, troublesome in dial up for good tone. My review of the deluxe bass muff. Gotcha. Still a problem. Charming, troublesome in dial up. Okay, I think I understand what you're getting at there. So yeah, so the deluxe bass muff is what it is, does what it does well, but you suggest putting a dark glass, or the Alpha Omnicron is a dark glass to help it out. Right, okay, I got you. Got you. There's quite a lot of distortion pedals actually benefit from having another pedal placed in the chain to help them out in various ways. It's not the first time I've heard that. So it does seem to be a thing with bass distortions. Some sound great with certain basses. Some sound dreadful with any bass, but that's the way it sometimes goes. Right, let's see. I think we're up to date with all the messages, I think. Let's just turn that on there, make sure I'm not missing any. Don't think I am. Here we go. Lewis, if you need a bottom end boosted lower frequency, try out the Electro Harmonics bass clone pedal. I agree. It's a poor chorus pedal, but nothing has the lowest end thump with that freaking pedal. Okay, what was the thing I was going to suggest? I sometimes use the EHX Knockout attack equalizer, and that can sometimes tighten up a bottom end really well. But the thing that I've just bought that I mentioned a little time ago was the BBE Sonic Stomp, which when I auditioned it in the store a couple of weeks ago, I was prepared that it wasn't going to do what I wanted it to do. And when I started testing it, I realized it did everything I wanted it to do and more. And that really tightens up the bottom end. It really focuses the tone of your signal. It's not just adding top and bottom. It's an aural enhancer, but far more pronounced than the ones that used to be on SWR amplifiers and ones that I've come across on other sort of rack mounts and pedals. This Sonic Stomp sounded absolutely fabulous. I can't wait to get it out on some gigs. So just bear with me. There'll be a video for that shortly. And I'm sure a few of you are going to go, what's that pedal? It had that impact on me. Cam Voodoo, evening. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Yeah, glad. Yeah, the dog's okay. He's stable, sleeping and snoring, as far as I'm aware. He was when we started this live chat. Anyway, he's in the other room with his mum. But thank you for asking. He's all good, but he certainly gave us a fright yesterday. Not what I thought I was waking up to yesterday. I had a nice day of YouTube work, all planned out, and exactly what I was doing from the time I sat down in front of the PC to the time I went to bed, and none of it happened yesterday, unfortunately, so I'm really sorry. David Gill, rewatched your videos on your alembic basses. Amazing tones. Nothing sounds like an alembic. And these two don't even sound anything like each other at all. And I'm sure if you've watched those two videos, David, if you watch like a minute of one and then watch a minute of the other doing the demos, you'll hear the sounds are nothing like each other whatsoever. Lewis, you are describing dark glass products now. Perfect. Tone enhancements. I need to do some videos with dark glass stuff here on the channel. I need to get in touch with them. I've only ever had a couple of bits and pieces when we were doing the magazine reviews, but I've never had any in my possession. I've had no dark glass gear here in the time that this channel has been up and running. The last piece of dark glass gear I had here for review was December 2019, so just before COVID struck. So I've not had any here to sort of play around with and tinker with. I will remedy that. It's on my list of gear to get in. It's just very hard trying to get all this stuff in and film and back out, and trying to create the conveyor belt that I used to have for reviews is tricky when you've got stuff to film and then edit and then promote, and it's like that snowball's getting bigger all the time. I will get there. I'll be pleased when I get content up tomorrow, and then things can start moving. Probably another one for Friday, another one for Sunday or Monday, and yeah, it'll be good. But like I say, there's loads of bass content, bass demos, bass reviews, load of pedals. It's already in the can. I've just got to have the time to do the social media promotion and do everything properly, which is what I did with the bass collection video, and lo and behold, it took off. So if you do things properly in a structured way, and you do your promotion properly as well, it can make a big difference to the success of a video and the channel. So rather than pumping videos out for the sake of it, it's much more conducive if I do them selectively and put the work in that goes on around it as well. But there's plenty of it, so just bear with me, guys. It'll all appear. It will all appear. So here we are. It's Brooks's Bass Corner. It's just coming up to 9 o'clock here in the UK. Hope you're safe and well. Got any questions about bass guitars, bass amps, bass speakers, bass effects pedals, bass accessories? You want to talk about any particular bass player? You want to talk about a particular band with a great bass player in? You want to talk about any albums with great bass lines on? Perhaps you've watched some videos already here on the channel. If you have, you want to ask me any questions about them, feel free. That's what tonight's all about. If you need some advice, need some help with some troublesome gear or troublesome equipment, stick your comments in the live chat window. On the mobile app, it's below. On the desktop, it's that way. As soon as I see those messages pop up, I'll respond to them. If I'm chatting and I don't respond to it, one of the fine brothers and sisters that we have here on the Brooks's Bass Corner live chat will no doubt help you. And we're all around the world, so you know, one of us will know something. Lewis, with a Wampler Equator EQ parametric 9 to 18 volt and the Keeley compressor are probably some of my favorite on my board. Yeah, okay. See, this is where the live chat falls down, is that people can't post up videos or pictures within that live chat window. Hopefully one day they will rectify that, because I would love you now to be able to do like a little video clip and post it up so that all of us can hear that. You know, that's the reference point. But they haven't done that yet. I guess because then anyone in a live chat, not just here on Brooks's Bass Corner, but anywhere on YouTube, could post up anything and there would be no moderation. But I get it. With a Wampler Equator EQ parametric 9 to 18 volt and the Keeley compressor. Okay. I did send you some pictures on your Instagram. Yes, you did. But I'd like to hear the video. I'd like to hear the pedals in action, you know. That's the real deal. Yeah. But this is the joy of bass pedal chat. You know, there are so many out there, and we're all using different stuff. We're not necessarily all using the same pedals. It's amazing. You know, when you're out on gigs and people come up to you, oh, what's on your board? You know, how did you get that sound? And there's always something. You know, some people just get great sounds out of their pedals, and you know, bass forums are great for that, but you can't beat actually having a one-to-one chat with someone at a gig or in a shop and let them show you, oh, well, how did you do that? How did you get that? And you go, well, it's this, isn't it? And you kick that one in and you turn that one on and there's your sound. And it's kind of odd. I'm in a disco funk band for a lot of my gigs at the moment. And yet a lot of the time I'm not combining any pedals. I'm not putting two pedals together. I don't know if that's because the songs don't really need it, or the songs and the bass lines that I'm copying didn't have them on in the first place. But it's quite possible. Maybe we'll mix it up a bit this year because I've got so many festivals coming up. I could actually, I don't want to play around with my bass parts, but I could certainly play around with some of the sounds and tones. You know, there's no harm in chucking a distortion or a fuzz along with a phaser or a filter pedal. That's half the fun of getting those great sounds. So, but a lot of the time I go into autopilot mode when I'm on a gig, and you kind of, you kick in certain effects for certain parts of certain songs. Very rare actually in that band that I've ever got an effect on for the whole of a song. I think probably Boogie Nights, which we segue with Lost in Music. It's probably one of the ones where I have a Aguilar filter twin on for the whole song, because I'm trying to copy that bass sound and kind of Rod Temperton's Moog sounds is key, and there was a keyboard bass on the original as well. Trying to get that fat, thick, grindy, envelope filtery kind of bass sound. I kind of get a good approximation of it, because then when I turn it off and we go into Lost in Music, then you're just getting clean bass. And actually for a while, when we first got this version of the band up and running, I used to kick an EBS chorus pedal in for Lost in Music just to thicken up the bass sound. But I found that pedal to be a little too aggressive frequency wise. It didn't make it have smooth chorus. It was like very gritty and a bit gnarly, which wasn't the intention. So I've kind of taken that pedal off the board. I'm not using that at the moment. Great pedal as it is, but it was just too, I wanted Bernard smoothness, and I was getting gritty, rocky overtones in a Sister Sledge song. Not ideal. Lewis, I'm a stacker for sure. 2 pedals for every channel on that mixer, plus 15 utility pedals for my dry tone. Wow. I'm at chill out on pedals and get higher quality amp and cab. Yeah. Can't argue. We were talking 2 weeks ago about the Aguilar stuff, weren't we? And the Mesa Boogie stuff. That's right. If you're doing gigs and you're doing work where you know, better quality amps are worth the investment, and go for it. I mean, I'm very happy with my Aguilar stuff. Quite a different tone to my EBS stuff that I was using before, and very different to the Mesa Boogie Strategy 888 that's over there. But that's why I have all these things. It's for different sounds, different tones, for different projects. So, you know, I've never found one piece of gear that covers everything. Okay, amplification can sometimes be quite different, because you can buy an amp setup and it will cover everything you do. And for long periods of time, that's what I've had. And certainly at the moment, the Aguilar stuff, when I'm needing amplification on stage, does everything I need it to do. It's just my requirements have changed because of Uncle Funk, where a lot of times now I don't use any amplification. I'm just running off my pedal board going through the Aguilar tone hammer pedal, and that works. Cam Voodoo, the best synth effect I've ever used live is a Roland VB99. Sounds fantastic, and you don't have to adjust your playing style. Are we talking the V bass here? Is that the VB99? I think we were discussing this before, where you had the Roland V bass, or someone on the live chat had the Roland V bass. And there are some great effects in that unit. Surprised it never took off more than it did. Lewis, I'm leaning hard on the Messer. She's 2 ohms stable, yep, plus parametric equalizer on the WD800. Mate, if that's what works for you, go for it. If you can compare and contrast that with the Aguilar stuff, because I know you were looking at that. If you can find a store or someone that's got both, do an A/B comparison, but it's got to use these. There's no point me or any other YouTubers giving our opinions. With amplification, you've got to go out and use your ears, and how it feels when you stand in front of it and you're playing. Put your earplugs in if you use earplugs. How's it sound now? How does it feel now? Stacy, you'll hold down the fort. Got a root touch up in here at 3:15. Keep these gals looking their best. Catch you next Tuesday. Cheers, Stace. Take it easy. Thank you for all your efforts on the graphics work at the weekend. Appreciate it. I will try my very best to get those designs up this tomorrow. Hopefully. I'm going to be dog sitting all day once I get back from the dentist tomorrow. So it's get the next long form video, which will be the latest installment of the bass string experiment, gig number 14, which was a long time ago. It was September, but that'll be going up tomorrow, and I will be, once that's up and promoted, I'll be sitting down and fingers crossed all the merchandise will start appearing tomorrow. So I'll give you a heads up, guys. So I've gone, so within YouTube, if we set up a merchandise facility, which is called setting up a store, setting up a shop, we've got 3 providers we can go with. There is Shopify, Spring, and Spreadshop. I've gone with Spreadshop, because the base price on the items were a lot cheaper. Shopify was just a complete, I don't want to belittle them, it was a complete mess to look at. There were 1,000,001 options, and a lot of it was to do with metrics and analytics and sales of items. It wasn't to do with actually setting up your store or anything. I just looked at it and went, I'm not even going down that road. Spring looked very good to work with, but their products were way too expensive. So I've gone with Spreadshop. So what there's going to be, there will be 12 merchandise items available at any given time. If I put a t-shirt up, that t-shirt is available in like 20 colors. So I can't put up 20 versions of the same t-shirt in a different color. So if you see a t-shirt, it's in black or white or red. If you decide that's the design you want, you click on it, you can choose the color of the shirt. So the picture within the store is the base picture, base as in BASE. So that's the design on a t-shirt. You can then go through and pick the colors you want. So it's going to be t-shirt, sweatshirt, baseball shirt, baseball cap. I think there was a hoodie as well. I've got my list here actually. Why don't you look at the list? That'd be a good idea. There's going to be 1 or 2 mugs. I haven't decided quite, because one of them's a panoramic mug. There might be a beer glass or a water bottle. What else am I looking at here? Done the baseball cap. There may be another hat. It could be a trucker cap or a beanie hat or a bucket hat. I haven't decided. And then there may be a backpack, which will, for pedals, leads, laptop, whatever you want to put in it. Trying to see what else there was that I picked out. That's probably going to be it. That'll be the 12 items. And then over time, I will make seasonal changes. So we'll have like a winter setup and then a summer setup. So obviously things like sweatshirts, you're not going to buy a sweatshirt in the summer. So I can change it up. I can put things like tank tops or vest tops on, or I can put shorts, or there's like 180 products on here. So I will endeavor to keep those designs changing and give different merchandise options as well. I think it'll be every 5 to 6 months, but we'll see. I don't know how it's going to work. No one might buy a single thing. I don't know. All I can do is have a go. And if you guys like any of the products and you think, oh, actually, I quite like that, then we'll see how we go with the sales. Let's see who we got. Lewis, I need to listen because paperwork only goes so far. Correct. You are right, my man. Stacey, give that Max some love from me, please. I will. When we get off the live chat later, I will give him a big kiss on the head from you. Lewis, buying a car is easier for me. 4 cylinders, 6 speeds, no rubber bands in transmission, good mileage. That only leaves the 3 cars in America. Yeah, we're not talking lemons here, sir. No, bricks and mortar is rare, so finding an Aguilar and a Messer in the same roof is not easy. I don't know base specific shops anymore. I don't know. I don't live in the US and I haven't been there for 9 years, so I don't know what the retail side of things is like. Can Voodoo, yes, the VB99, the second iteration, and they were expensive, just over $1,000 plus the GK pickup. Yeah, not the one that went on the floor, but the wedge-shaped unit. I'm thinking the one that went on the floor. Okay. I see Andrew Goucher use one a lot. Now I use a piccolo bass into a Source Audio C4 now as the VB was getting too roadworn. Right, Cam Voodoo, let's have your opinions and a concise, not a review, but what you think is good about the Source Audio C4 bass synth pedal. I want to know. I've been looking at one. I think we had a chat about it on a previous live chat. Because there was a new version coming out. I don't know if it has yet or not. And a lot of the stuff you can do on a mobile app in terms of editing your presets and stuff, tell me. I haven't had a chance to have one in my hands yet, so I don't know other than watching videos, but tell me what you think. Tell me how you're getting on. Is it as complicated as it looks? Or is it relatively simple and sort of fairly intuitive? And I don't know if anyone out there on the live chat has experience of the Source Audio EQ2 pedal. See loads of the 1 version on eBay. A few 2s here and there. I'm just intrigued to know what that EQ pedal is like. What's the sound like? What's the editing on it like? Is it easy to make changes on the fly? Can Voodoo, I love it, but not for the faint of heart. Oh God, it sounds like it's going to be another Octavius squeezer type affair, but you would have no problems. Maybe I'm just going to have to buy one and see how I get on with it. And if I don't like it or it doesn't work for me, I'll get rid. We'll see. I'll put it up against the EHX monosynth, and because that is plug and play. Stick it on, start playing, you can change the parameters immediately. Never heard a complaint from Source Audio or Strymon. In fact, the Source Audio is a better value for price. We're talking about the EQ pedal, Lewis, the EQ2. I just like the look of the EQ2. It looks like a really good piece of kit. And having just bought the Boss EQ pedal, yeah, okay. Okay, maybe I should just take the plunge, buy one, and see how I get on both of them. Okay, Cam Voodoo has great effects other than synth stuff, like octave and modulation. Okay. Might just have to go for it, I think. Or go and park myself in somewhere like Bass Direct or Guitar or PMT and just sit and play with the thing. But it's that thing, isn't it? In a bass shop. And you don't want to be sat there for 4 hours trying to pedal only then to decide you don't want it. I want to get it at home and then get it out on gigs. And again, the acid test for me with any bit of gear, what's it like on the gig? Can I make changes really quick and adjust things, or is it just going to be a lot of grief? As Lewis, I would have gotten one, but my gear advisor said nope. Analog Wampler for you, Lewis. Ah, okay. Okay. The world of pedals, you see. So many choices. There are so many great vids on YouTube of that pedal. Yeah, I did have a look at a couple. But again, when some of the demos and the review videos, they gloss over some things. And if they're not necessarily being paid by the company, but they might have been offered the pedal as you can keep the pedal if you give us a positive review, doesn't always tell me what I need to know. So maybe an investigation to a bass store soon to check out those two pedals, and then I can make a decision of sorts, I think. We will see. The plot thickens. The new Zoom B6 looks interesting. Yeah, I've heard a few people mention this. Is it already out, or is it coming out at around now time? The Zoom B6. Let me do. This is the joy of having my desktop right in front of me. I can quickly do that. So look. Okay, yeah, I've seen pictures of this. Yeah, Andertons, I think, have them already, don't they? Yeah, I've seen this. Okay. Yeah, they're definitely going down that kind of helix stomp kind of vibe, aren't they, on the visuals? Tap, tune, input. Okay. Again, you kind of need to do a lot of your setting up at home before you go onto the gig, but okay, interesting. I mean, I know some of you out there are probably going to say, oh, why don't you use that instead of your pedal board? I like my pedal board. I like having the individual pedals that I can tweak and adjust as I see fit. Having multi-effects is great, but you've got to know those units back to front. So if on the gig it doesn't sound, you can make the relative adjustments. Having said that, if you're doing a gig and you haven't got time really to set your pedals up on your board and tweak things, and you don't want settings changing, and you can come up with some patches that are just bomb proof, so those sort of multi-effects boards are a godsend, because all you got to do is stick it on the floor, put the power in, and off you go. The news, 350 on GAC. Yeah, I saw that on Andertons. How much was that? Yeah, 350, so 349. Okay. Again, maybe I should check one out in a store. But again, for me, multi-effects units, they don't really come to life until I'm on the gig. And I don't want to go through that whole story about the PV bass effects where I set up loads and loads of great patches, got it on a gig, couldn't hear any of the effects. It's like the recurring nightmare that never stops. Bang on with digital stuff. You should know it back to front. Yeah. Lewis, I'm on a classic analog with a touch of digital. Signal is alive, warm beyond my abilities of a player. I'm in tone heaven. Good man. Good man. This is what I try to do when I'm out on gigs. And to be honest, most of the time I've got a pretty good sound. I've only started using the pedals since I've been doing Uncle Funk. So I'm still kind of learning things that work together and things that need to be certain place in the path and what have you. But it's good. It's good. And certainly in this band, it's crying out for filters and bass fuzz and octave pedals and all that kind of thing. What I have to be very careful with when I'm doing Uncle Funk when it comes to effects is not over egging the pudding. We're a 9-piece band. There's a lot of frequencies going on there. It's got bass, drums, keys, guitar, 3 singers, 2 horns, and track. It's a lot. I have to be really careful I don't swamp the bottom end or take up too much of the mid-range. I think generally I'm okay. I don't cause the sound man any problems, I don't think. But it's all good. It's all good. Welcome, Brooks's Bass Corner, live chat number 35. If you've not frequented my channel before, welcome. You're very welcome. We're all bass players here. If you've got any questions about bass guitars, bass amplifiers, bass speakers, bass effects, bass accessories, great bass players, bands with great bass players, albums that have great bass lines on, anything that's already here on my channel you'd like to talk about, perhaps you've seen my bass collection video, you'd like to have a chat about some of the basses, they're all here in the rack behind me. If there's any questions, maybe you've seen one of those basses and you're thinking, what does that button do? What does that switch for? The basses are here, I can tell you. Put any questions or comments in the live chat window. On the mobile app, it's below here. On the desktop app, it's that way. As soon as I see those messages pop up, I'll respond to them. Lewis, yes, exactly. It's about fitting in with everyone playing. Exactly. I've been in band situations before where certain guitar players have just filled the whole frequency range because they were used to doing duos or playing in certain bands where you might have a widdly guitarist that plays loads of shrill top end, and they would turn up with big amplifier stacks to fill all the bottom, all the mid-range, and there's basically no room for anyone else in the band to play. I've been in that situation. Not so much in the last 10 years, but for a large portion of my career I did, and it can be a nightmare. So, and for that reason, for a long time I didn't use a 5-string bass. I could have done in that band. There would have been no point. It would have got totally swamped out with distorted guitar. So I was stuck with a 4 for the most part. Kind of predetermined what bass I'd take to that gig. But there we go. There we go. But with Uncle Funk, it's not like that at all. Everything's very clear. It's like listening to a CD a lot of the time. We have really good mix. We can adjust our own mixes using our phones or our iPads or laptop. And we're all on in-ears all the time. We have no on-stage monitoring unless we're at a festival or it's a multi-band gig. And then the setup's there, but we still have our in-ears, and that works really well for us. The variants. Hi Brooksy. Ian here was Greenwich Habaria last live chat. Welcome, sir. Hope you're well. We got a gig offer after your advice. Pleased to help you. There we go. However, our guitarist can't do that day. Anyhow, we're in, so thanks again. My pleasure. What was the tipping point? What from the advice I offered last week? Was it the week? No, it was last week. What from the advice I offered tipped the balance in your favor? Let me know. I'm interested to know. What did me or anyone else here say that meant you got the gig? Let us know. We're intrigued. I'm hanging on this now. I want to know. Don't leave me hanging. I'm hoping you're typing. See, this is the thing on the live chat. It doesn't tell you that someone's typing a message, or if it does, it's not showing it on mine. Which is a shame. Now, I need to do the big sell, of course. So if you are enjoying this video, this live chat, or you enjoy the videos on the channel, feel free to give them a thumbs up. It really helps the channel and the video with the YouTube algorithm. If you've got any comments that you don't want to put in the live chat, but you want to comment about the video, you can stick it in the comments section. Or if you're watching this video after the event, you can still be involved. Leave a comment. I'll come back to you as soon as I see that message. If you wish to financially contribute to the channel, you can. At the bottom of the live chat window, you'll see an emoji icon. Feel free to use the emojis, guys and girls, as much as you wish. It's all good. There's a dollar symbol. That's called Super Chat. So if you're enjoying this live chat, you can donate to the channel. Simply click on it. It'll ask you how much you wish to donate to the channel. That's that. Alternatively, you can do, there's a facility under every video here on Brooks's Bass Corner. This is a monetized channel. Underneath every video, you'll see a thumbs up, a thumbs down, a share arrow, a save button. You'll see a love heart with a dollar symbol in. That's called Super Thanks. Works in exactly the same way as Super Chat. Basically, if you enjoy a particular video or you enjoy the content that a certain creator is providing, you can say thank you and offer a financial incentive, or basically you're contributing to the continuation of the channel. So that's by a super thanks. Then in every video here on the channel, in the description box, you'll see affiliate links. If you go ahead and make purchases through those affiliate links, if the sale goes through and completes, the creator, on this channel it's me, clearly, I receive an affiliate commission. Then as from, fingers crossed, tomorrow, there's going to be merchandise here on the channel. So underneath every video, you're going to see a storefront with items with Brooks's Base Corner branding on. If you wish to help the channel, those purchases will also lead to affiliate sales through to the channel. That's the big sell. Let's see here. Lewis, Lewis, this is why mixers, so you can shovel them aside and use the basics for dry tone. And the effects are complementary to the notes. No need for a child's toy walking over the tone was my plan. Cam Voodoo. I can show that. Yeah. See you later, folks. Have to go. Wife is a pain in the ass. No problem. Thank you for attending. Take care. Have a good evening. We'll catch you next time. Ian. It turned out my daughter knew the landlord's daughter. Kids have some use after all. I would wager extra pocket money. Possibly. She might be holding her hand out for some of the fee. Well, I hope your gig goes really well. Where are you playing? Where's the gig? What venue? Let us know. I hope the gig goes well. But yeah, so if any of the advice me and the others gave you last week, that helped you out, the channel's working. That's what we do. What we try to do. Very good. So we've got an arm show coming up in about 2 months' time. I think there's another one later in the year, and then they go back to the regular January slot for NAMM over in America. So is there any gear out there that you guys are looking at? Anything that you've kind of got your eye on? Because this year it's going to be kind of the first year properly back out of COVID. There's going to be a lot of gear coming out. I would imagine a lot of manufacturers, a lot of distributors are bringing new products to market. So, you know, what's out there? What are you guys looking at? I've just visited a couple of bass shops, a couple of guitar shops for one of my next videos that'll be out probably next week, I think. And I was looking at gear, and there just seemed to be, in some of the shops, they were just still stocking all the old stuff. There didn't seem to be anything really new to get your teeth into. And I was asking the guys, I said, what's new? What's, you know, new pedals, new amps? They said, well, amps, there's not a lot. A lot of people are moving away from having amps. Everyone's going for in-ear stuff. Stomp, Helix Stomp, preamp, pedal bass setups. So there wasn't a lot of amplification, and basses wise, it just didn't seem to be. I think the new big thing is the new Fender Jazz with the one pickup, 2 controls, matching headstock, lollipop tuners. I can't remember what the exact model is. Bear with me. I will just find it and I'll tell you. It's an odd looking thing. I will tell you what it's called. Have they got one? Doesn't look like it. Right, try. I know exactly where to try it. Bear with me, guys. I went in 3 stores. They all had it. So it's called... Bear with me. Oh, crikey, I'm not going through 42 pages of bases, that's for sure. No, I'm definitely not. Right, hold on. Let's go direct to the source. Base. I don't need all the clickbait, thanks. No. Oh. Okay. This is called Fender, don't do this. It's the brand new model. Why isn't it coming up immediately? Ah, there we go. The gold foil jazz bass. It's available in like a Daphne blue. Oh, Sonic blue. Okay, so kind of a bit of a faded, washed out blue. And then there's two color sunburst, which, yeah, the black headstock. So it's got one pickup where like a split coil would normally be on a precision. That's it. Two controls, volume and tone, lollipop tuners, ebony fingerboard with neck binding and white pearloid dots, matching painted headstock, 60s C radius maple neck, 9.5, that's rubbish, 60s C-shaped profile, maple neck with 9.5 inch radius fingerboard, a Fender gold foil single coil. Fine. I've seen on some of the bass forums people saying that there's a massive problem with the truss rod adjustment in terms of where it is. It's basically at the base of the neck, but you can't actually, you've got to take the neck off to get to it, and it's like a complete design mess. And then there have been instances where people have seen it the way it should be, and they're saying, where's the quality control? Why isn't it consistent between all examples of the bass? Quite. What's going on, Fender? Yeah. So might try and get one of those for review very soon, if possible. Problem is getting all this stuff in and getting the videos up before that gear becomes old hat is so hard, because the big review channels get all this stuff sent to them. I have to go and chase to get it. Oh, I saw no messages come up there. Sean P bass, gold foil Fender thingy. Exactly. Yeah, the most unlike a jazz bass thingy I've seen. Okay, the body shape's right, but the rest of it's a little funky. But there we go. It's something different, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know where Fender go next. I really don't. I mean, they keep trying odd things. They end up coming back to the old tried and trusted. If they stay with that, they get shot down for it. There's all these possible variations, but nothing seems to quite take off, does it? I don't know if that's a bad thing or not. They came out with they got it right first time, you know. Both of the precision jazz designs are just, they are what they are, you know. Why would you change it? But yeah, so there we have it. There was something I was going to ask all of you. Oh, it might have been to do with the merchandise. So I ran a couple of polls on the community tab. For anyone that doesn't know, the community tab is YouTube's version of social media. So I try and message on there every day, every other day. I ran a couple of polls over the weekend to ask you guys what sort of merchandise you'd be interested in. So it turned out the thing that got the most replies was you wanted bass playing centric merchandise. Then I went into a deeper question. Well, out of these four items, I think I put cloths, plectrums. What was it? Cloths, plectrums, fret wraps, and cable ties. What would be the most popular? So there were results from that as well. So tell me, are you interested in buying the standard merchandise like t-shirts and hoodies and bags and hats and, drinking paraphernalia and all of that? Or is it really the base-centric stuff? The reason I'm asking, I can't do base-centric stuff apart from bags, really, and things like phone cases and what have you, through the shop channel that we have options with here on YouTube. You can't do picks, you can't do cable ties, you can't do fret wraps, can't do polishing cloths. So it's possible that I'm going to have to do, if that's what you lovely people would like, I'm going to have to do that myself and get it done myself and basically hold stock here. So the joy of having the shop front is that I don't hold any stock. Basically, you place an order and that online based store fulfills the order. Regarding base merchandise, picks, fret wraps, cable ties, cloths, all of that sort of stuff, I have to get that done. Sean, I saw you've got to go. Thank you very much for attending. Good to see you. Take care. Have a good week. Lewis, I'm coming to the conclusion they're not hanging anything good on the wall in America. I went to try out the P-Bass and the Schecter was a nicer instrument for half the price. I hear. Fender make good stuff, in my opinion. Every bass, got to take every bass on its merits. Some are good, some not so good. Luck of the draw. You might pick a really great bass off the wall, or it might be an absolute stinker. You never know. And that's not just Fender. That's most brands. You don't know what you're going to get off a wall. So back to the merchandise thing. So if you guys are interested in buying picks, cable ties, fret wraps, cloths, merchandise like that, would you buy that stuff? Because there's no point me getting loads of stuff printed up, holding on to it, and then no one's actually really that interested. So if bass picks with Brooks's Bass Corner on, or cable ties like Velcro ties, I use those all the time on all my cables for my PA, in my gig case, in my gig bag. If I've got, if I'm traveling light and I've got cables, they've all got Velcro cable ties around them. Fret wraps, cloths, cleaning cloths with Brooks's Bass Corner branding. Is that something you guys would be interested in? Let me know. If you're watching the video after the event, leave a reaction in the comments or send me a message on social media. So on Facebook, Instagram or Twitter, I can get all of that. Or respond via the community tab here on YouTube. Okay, I'll take it like a Gibson hands only case by case examples. Lewis, that's how I approach every single bass guitar that I buy or test. I don't know how each one is going to be, and I've picked up very, very expensive basses that have been absolutely horrendous, and then I've picked up very, very cheap instruments that have been utterly amazing. So I never assume what a bass is going to be like before I pick it up, because you don't know. But the Fender name is the Fender name. Some of their stuff's good, some of it's not so good. I've played old vintage instruments that were horrendous, and I've played old vintage instruments that were some of the best basses I've ever played. You never know. So if you're watching the live chat and you've just heard me talking about the merchandise, let me know what you think. If you want bass specific merchandise, like things that we all use on gigs and as bass players, I can do that. We can do that as part of the merchandise here, but it's gonna have to be off my own back that I do that. So I'm just trying to gauge reaction. Is that something you fabulous people would be interested in or not? Because I don't want to get 1,000 picks. I don't want to get 1,000 picks printed up to get the costs to a point that makes it worthwhile, and then I sell 3 and I'm left with 997 plectrums for the next 25 years. That's not really my thing. However, if buying picks, and they would be standard kind of pricing, I guess about 50 pence each. If you bought 5 or 10, I might be able to do them at a discounted price And then the only thing you got to pay for would be postage and packing, which I think comes to about 70 pence. It's and all of that will help the channel kind of continue. But I'm just wary that I don't want to invest loads and loads of money in stock of merchandise that then I can't sell. Whereas the storefront merchandise is, as I said, it's on a order by order basis. So if someone orders 4 bits of merchandise, it gets printed and it gets sent to them. There's no stock being held. So there we go. And it might well be that I have to have a website with a merchandise section and an e-commerce engine behind it in order to do all this. I don't know. I've never done it before. So we'll see. Lewis, yeah, I understand that. My friend Eric has a sweet 80s Strat. It's a unicorn, tone-wise. Never heard such sweet. Okay, $2,200 out the door. An 83. I bet that weighs a ton. A friend of mine had a black and gold. It was an 83 or 84 Strat. It was like a lead weight. You can barely pick it up. It sounded great, though. Sounded great. But again, it's luck of the draw. Individual instruments. You cannot assume what any instrument is going to be like. Yes, heavy Corvette blue. Oh, but that looks good. Tortoiseshell scratch plate, maybe. Maple neck. Maple neck? Maple fingerboard, what I mean. Or we're talking rosewood or something else. White and gold scratch plate, I assume. Yeah. Nice. Very nice. The right scratch plate on a guitar or bass can make the world of difference. It really can. Hardware was gold, white plate. Okay, white, standard white or pearloid white? Standard. Okay. Still very nice. You're painting a fine picture. I like the sound of it. Very good. So here we are, Brooks's Bass Corner, live chat number 35 here on the channel, the YouTube channel. If you've not ventured on here before, welcome. I'm Mike Brooks. This is my YouTube channel. We're talking bass guitars, bass amplifiers, bass effects pedals, bass accessories, great bass players, bands with great bass players, albums with great bass lines on. If there's anything here on the channel you'd like to discuss, videos that already are available for you to watch, maybe you've watched some of the videos here, you'd like to ask any questions, put it in the live chat window. So on the mobile app, it's below this window. On the desktop, it's that way. As soon as I see any messages or comments pop up, I respond to them. That's how it works. It's simple as that. It's a two-way conversation. So if Lewis and I are having a fairly involved conversation here, if you'd like to interject or you've got your own questions, feel free. If you don't contribute anything, basically I'm nattering for an hour or so. So yeah. Lewis, the Mexican 90 is 80% of the unicorn. Same purchase for £400 for buying the 83. Okay. Okay. Almost jealous, but I love him. Sounds like you got a good guitar there. So there we go. So tell me, Lewis, what's your favourite bass? I can't remember how many you've got in your collection. Tell me. I'm guessing it's your Schecter, but I could be wrong. So that's why I'm asking the question. Oh, you have only one. Okay. That'll be your favourite one then. That'll be the Schecter. Very good. Good, good, good. Well, I hope you get the amplification thing sorted. So if you do go and test some, either in a store or a bass store or whatever, take your bass with you. It's imperative. There's no point playing a different bass than what you have, because if you then invest that money in a really good amp setup, if it doesn't sound how you want it to sound, it can be immensely disappointing and very frustrating that you've paid all that money out and it's not the sound you thought you were going to have. So yeah, make sure you take your bass with you. It can make a very big difference. I've bought basses in shops, tried them in the shop, thought it sounded great. And in fact, my red Status Empathy, which you'll have seen many times on various videos here on the channel, I thought sounded amazing in the store. I got it home, played it for an hour, and I thought, this doesn't sound like an Empathy I've played before. Little did I know the pickups and the circuit were voiced slightly differently to all the other Empathies I'd tried, which were early 90s models. This was a 98. Took it to a gig that night. Really was not impressed. I'd spent 1,200 quid on a bass I wasn't happy with. Tried it for weeks, months on gigs. Just wasn't doing it for me at all. I kept it in the rack for a couple of years, and then I got to a point I thought, right, it's got a month. If in that month it doesn't prove itself to me, it's going. I changed the strings, different brand, different material, different gauge, set the bass up differently. It played like a completely different instrument. It was outstanding. That bass pretty much did 90 to 95% of my bass work from 2007. Well, it still does a lot of it now, but there have been gaps since we came out of COVID where I've used different basses. But pretty much up until 2020, that bass for 13, 14 years did 90 to 95% of all the gigs I did. There was a lot of gigs. So sometimes just changing strings, changing your setup, changing pickup heights, how the bass sounds, responds, resonance, it can all make a difference. Suddenly makes a bass that you really weren't in love with. Suddenly, oh, actually, I didn't realise this could be like this. Sound great. I'm looking forward to getting a second bass after the amp. Cool. What are you looking at? What are you thinking of? Every time I take it to Guitar Centre, they freak out when they hear it. I bet all the other Schecters don't sound like that. That's why. So second bass, Lewis, what are you thinking? 4-string, 5-string, 6-string, fretless, another Schecter? What are you thinking? Do you want another bass that sounds just like the Schecter, so that if you snap a string or whatever, pick the second bass up, you've got an identical one? Or are you going for something that's a totally different sort of tone and look? Oh, you want a custom? Okay. Which manufacturers and luthiers are you looking at? What's your budget? How much do you want to spend? We can talk custom basses, no problem. I'm intrigued. You want a Dingwall? Okay. Particular model? What sort of budget are you looking at? Because Dingwalls aren't going to be cheap. And you want custom as well, so. Okay, have you played a Z3? Which is probably the finest Dingwall I've ever played. Did a review of one in 2016, I think. Let me just, in fact, I won't go to that. This is the joy of having my PC and my hard drive, instead of having the camera flipping on the amplifier and speaker backdrop. I can call stuff up really quick and refer to it. Let me just, Dingwall bass reviews, published, DDD, where are we? Z3, that was 2016. Yeah, so I reviewed the Z3, I it had a natty finish on it. Just bear with me a moment. Oh, I see. It's just thrown it into that, isn't it? Right, okay. Ah, maybe it wasn't the Z3 then. No, it was the Z3. I do remember. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't have a particularly flash finish. I'm thinking of another. There must be another one that I did. Hold on. Let's do this by name. It's easier to see them. Right, Dingwall AB. No, it wasn't the AB one. Wasn't the afterburner. Wasn't the combustion. Wasn't the bird note. GNG. I think. I think my editor might have used the wrong pictures. Just checking the finish here. Dual density swamp with a translucent black print. No, that's that. There was another. Oh, I know. There was another base I did a review of that had a completely different cut. Oh, I know. It's not in here. That's why. Okay. Somehow it's escaped. I'll have to go back through my files. Or is that it? That might be it. Is it that? It's the AB1. Sorry. I reviewed so many Dingwalls while I was at the magazine. There was one we did a review of at Base Direct in Warwick here in the UK. And they had the most amazing, it's almost like a burl finish. What is it? Let me see. It's like a black burst. I can't see that. How do I zoom in? DDD. Alder with a burl maple top. That's it. Burl maple top. It's outstanding. But the Z3, as I recall, felt amazing. Played great, but it was not cheap. Let's open that up and zoom in. Tell you, yeah, nearly £4,000, and that was in 2016. So Lord knows what it is now. But they were great, really great. I have a lot of respect for the Dingwall bases. Great to play, sound great, really good ideas behind what they're doing. Really good. Okay, you kind of, so you can have mahogany body, okay, maple top, quilted maple top, nice, matching headstock, ebony board. Oh, it's gonna be a tone machine. Teal aqua finish for my dream nickel hardware. Okay, Schaller and Graphtec machine heads. Cool. Excellent. Yeah. You don't have to go with the Z3. It was just, I was saying that was the best one I've ever played. But there are so many good models within the Dingwall catalogue. You know, go and, well, it's hard, isn't it? You can't go and test a custom base, but try some of the higher end models. So, you know, once you come out of the combustions and the NG2s and 3s, then start going through the handmade models, and you'll start to realize what features and what you do want and what you don't want. Just thinking about a cigar boat for my base. I'm sure they'll include it if you're willing to pay for it. I'm sure they won't have a problem with that. And tell Sheldon I sent you. Very cool. Yeah. So what's next on your pedal board? Because you've got a few. What company? Sorry, what's that? Sheldon Dingwall, the boss at Dingwall Guitars. I know Sheldon very well. He's if you want to run any questions past him, he's very active on Facebook and in the Instagram and email as well. So if you're serious about getting a dingle made, certainly feel free to run questions past him. You're going after a Rev G8 pedal, I'm guessing. Noise gate, cool. And is there a purpose for that noise gate? Is there a specific problem, or is it just something you want to add to the repertoire? Stack distortion from light to shredder. Okay, right, okay. Yeah, that's going to impact your signal somewhat, just a bit. You don't want it sounding like a wasp in a tin, that's for sure. It's naturally high gain hiss. I know what you're saying. Okay. When you get one, let us know how you get on with it. Let us know if it solves the problem. I'm assuming you've used one or tested one out, and you know that's what you need. Or are you buying it on spec? Ah, okay. In what way? Reached. Don't know what that means. Refers to. You can hook it up wrong. Okay. It will work. Okay, cool. Okay. I've not had a lot of experience with noise gates. It's always something the front of house sort of use more than anything. I've never used them on bass stuff. I've been quite lucky actually. I guess a lot of time I haven't used single coil pickups for a lot of my career. I've tended to have humbuckers on my basses, but there were one or two occasions with a Fender Jazz, a bit noisy, but generally I've been fairly lucky. Plus fabulous rev high gain noise gate from the amp. Okay. Okay. You obviously know your setup very well, sir. That's cool. I mean, I've never had a hugely complicated setup. I'd say it's most complicated now for me. It's whether I've got backline or not is kind of irrelevant. Then I've got bass wireless, in-ear wireless, iPad for mixing, pedal board. You know, when it comes to rigging up, like when I do the ABBA stuff at Christmas, I've got two wirelesses going, tuners and pedal board, and it's like the options of rigging it up. I've got various input output options, but it's not complicated in any way, but it's the most tricky I've ever had as a setup, really. It's the most accurate, no tone suck. That's what you want. That's what you want. Have it set up clever, only 3 switches for modulation. Okay. Interesting. And that I think your setup, as you detailed it to us, I think it was last week, wasn't it? Or was it the week before? Might be last week. Would just be too complicated for me. I wouldn't be able to use it on gigs. It would there'd be just too much room for something to go wrong, or a loose cable or something, or a power supply on one of the pedals wouldn't work. Or you've got it set up clever, only 3. Yeah, okay, so it's really simple at 22 going at the same time. Yeah. Wouldn't really work in a disco funk band, but it's what gets the sound you're after, the sound you hear in your head. If having all that going is what's going to get that sound, that's the way it has to be. I get it. I hear you. Okay, let's see, where are we? Okay, we've been going nearly 2 hours. Let's think. It's clean and always useful. Excellent. As long as you can get back to your clean sound, that's most important. Okay, so we've been going for nearly 2 hours. I'm going to do a 5-minute sort of wrap-up warning here. So if you've got any questions or comments you'd like to put into the live chat, do them now. As soon as I see them, I'll respond to them. If you've enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up. If you've not already subscribed to the channel, feel free to do so. Hit the notification bell and you'll get notifications when I post up new videos and new content here on the channel, and when I post up community posts on the community tab. As I said earlier, merchandise should go live tomorrow. There'll be a new long form video going up tomorrow. There will be new shorts coming out. They were ready at the weekend. With what's happened with our dog in the past couple of days, I haven't been able to focus on getting a new series of videos up, but they're there, ready to go. So keep checking back to the channel, and you'll see that new content start to pop up. Lewis, I'll send you some sound clips. Yes, please do. Please do. Lovely. Look forward to it. I'm not going to do a live chat next week because we've done 3 on the bounce. So we'll take a week off. We'll probably come back the week after that. Also, next week is Valentine's Day. So for you lovely lovers out there, and also if you've got partners, other halves, probably best that you pay them some attention rather than coming onto my live chat. So we'll do one in a couple of weeks. So I guess that'll be about February 21st, I think. That's probably right, isn't it? So it's 7th today. 2 weeks time, 21st. Yes. So if you've got any comments, any questions, you can put them on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can put them on the community tab here on YouTube, which is YouTube's version of social media. As soon as I see them, I'll respond to them. If you've got any questions regarding video content, or demos you'd like to see, reviews you'd like to see, interviews you'd like to see, again, let me know, and I'll do my best to accommodate your requirements. So live chat in 2 weeks time, new content up tomorrow, merchandise up tomorrow. I've got Uncle Funk at the weekend, and more episodes of the bass string experiment coming your way. And also that bass from the bass string experiment will be coming out on Saturday. That'll be gig 29 with the same strings on. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there are videos here on the channel. You can go to the playlist section. You'll see something called the bass string experiment. There's a series of videos in there. I put a set of Rhodes Sound Swing Bass 66 round wound steel strings on a Status Graphite Empathy bass at the end of July last year. Those strings are still on it. Saturday will be gig 29 with those same strings. So if you want to check those videos out, feel free. So on that note, Lewis, thank you for your company this evening. Great chat. Thank you very much. I found definite rules besides the no wrong way. Only a couple, but they are there. Cool. Thank you for your company this evening. Thank you for all the messages. Thank you to everyone that's been on the live chat tonight. As I've said, if you've enjoyed it, please hit the thumbs up, hit the notification bell, hit the subscribe button. It's all very handy, very useful with promoting the YouTube channel within the YouTube algorithm. So new content over the next couple of days. Merchandise hopefully up tomorrow. I will do my very best to get that up and running. And if you haven't already checked out, base collection videos up, active. Loads of people sort of responding to that at the moment. Next big video like that is going to be about how to buy a bass now in 2023. Filming it, starting to edit it probably at the weekend, could well be up early next week. As soon as it is, you'll know about it. But if you're not subscribed, you won't know about it. So on that note, I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you very much for a great evening. Thank you to everyone on the live chat. It's been a blast. If you want to catch up with any of the other live chats, just go to the live chat playlist. You'll see it all there. Any videos or content that is here on the channel that I've referenced during this live chat from tomorrow, when this video is streamed and presented on the YouTube channel, any items from this channel will be in the description box below. So you'll find links and timestamps so you can easily reference content that we've been speaking about. On that note, I'll say goodnight. Have a great morning, afternoon, evening, whatever's left of your Tuesday. Have a great one. Have a great week. I'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Take it easy. Have a great week. All the best.